We were really trying to start looking at tearing it down.
That was supposed to be the beginning of the great rebuild.
Me, Cal, we made up our mind that this deal's in place to have, Cal traded, me traded.
On that flight from, I think we were from LA to Sacramento, I think me and him talked the whole flight. It wasn't a long flight, but we talked the whole flight. It was just straight up, yo, like, you want to get traded? Nah, not right now. We don't do nothing. We both gonna be traded.
At the time, I think the Knicks were just one of the teams that had approached us on Kyle.
The Raptors reportedly shopping their point guard, Kyle Lowry. Initially, it was the Knicks who were interested. Now it seems like the Nets. What's the latest?
I think the Knicks, they have a better shot of landing it, but let's face it, the Raptors are rigging for Wiggins like no team in the NBA right now. Clearly, they want that #1 pick, and they're going to do what they can to make it happen.
Kyle will tell you, he was packed to go to New York. He was ready to go. If they trade Kyle, they'd bottom out. And that would have been really the tear down in your tanking for Wiggins.
I had called my boys like, yo, I need you to meet me in New York. I'm about to get traded there. I'm about to get in the plane. I had 2 duffel bags sitting there, waiting for the call to say your flight number is blah, 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 blah.
The Knicks at that time had been burned in a lot of different deals.
The problem with that trade was Masai Ujiri had kind of won 2 previous trades with the New York Knicks.
The biggest one was probably the Carmelo Anthony trade. James Dolan, the owner of the Knicks, had basically taken over the negotiations. It was kind of universally viewed that the Knicks got taken advantage of in that deal. That James Dolan, frankly, got taken advantage of in that deal.
Subsequently, the first significant trade that Masai Ujiri made as a Raptor was trading Andrea Bargnani to the New York Knicks. And that kind of blew up in the Knicks' face as well.
They absolutely got hosed in that one. So now Kyle Lowry becomes available, and there's certainly a case to make the deal for him. And yeah, Dolan got involved again, this time to basically say we're not doing the deal.
And James Dolan came in and says, look, I'm not doing this deal because if Masai Ujiri's on the other end of the phone, I don't want to look like an idiot.
And the call never came. The opposite call came and said, you're staying. It's like, all right.
The greatest non-trade in the history of the Toronto Raptors is Kyle Lowry to the New York Knicks.
Things been a little bit different. He would have been in town and out of town in a couple of years, and nobody would think twice about Kyle Lowry.
Anybody who thought Kyle Lowry was going to be who Kyle Lowry became and who he is today, you'd have probably had them their head examined.
And then that's where you become, like, you got to understand your professionalism. You still got to go back the next day and go to work.
And that's when we took off.
I just couldn't stand him. We were so opposite.
Kyle and DeMar weren't Kyle and DeMar out of the gate.
Was he a pain in the butt?
Absolutely.
Man, stop playing with me, man.
It just felt like it didn't mesh.
I'm excited to be here. I was a kid coming in here with attitude, not wanting to be here.
Anybody who thought Kyle Lowry was going to be who Kyle Lowry became, and you'd have probably had their head examined.
To know Kyle is to love Kyle.
And we needed to believe in ourselves here.
Brooklyn, did he just really say that?
We definitely knew some type of change was coming.
That just shifted the momentum of everything we kind of had built.
We all was thinking like something needs to be changed.
Like there's always going to be hurt.
We just traded you to San Antonio, and I was like,